Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Catatonia's YouTube channel, starring me, the Mighty Chudan. This is Bosses Only, the video series where we look at just the bosses from a dungeon, because you're not stuck on trash, you're stuck on bosses. This is from the Shadows of the Hist DLC. This is Ruins of Mazzatun. Why is it called Ruins of Mazzatun? It's called that because the city of Mazzatun was once a vibrant, thriving ancient metropolis that was beautiful and the envy of the world, and according to legend, there was great amounts of gold inside, which attracted the attention of the Spanish conquistadors, who visited the city of Mazzatun and extended the hand of friendship to the Argonians, only to lie and declare war on them, killing them and taking their gold for themselves. In fear of retribution, Emperor Varan ordered that a great wall be built around the city of Mazzatun to keep the angry people inside, and over the centuries, the city fell to ruin. So there you go, Ruins of Mazzatun. This first boss, Zatzu, is a big, angry Argonian man with a sword and board. His only real attack is a heavy attack and a taunt that he repeatedly does to the tank who's already taunted him. Occasionally, he'll raise his arm into the sky, fart really hard, and shoot himself upward. Then he'll land with a great thud, doing no damage because he'll get out of it. He's pretty simple. He'll do this, the Rock Shaper as well, where he channels and summons rocks from the ground, which will smack into people. Just block, healer will keep you up, doesn't really do any damage. Farts himself into the air again, lands with a thud, keep on damaging him, rinse and repeat. The thing he does the most is he just taunts you over and over and over. He's doing it to the tank right now. Stabbity, 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 stab, and it did nothing because he is dead. Loot your lockpicks and make your way up through this door. I wonder where this door's going to lead. My guess, as usual, is that it will lead to the next boss. Am I correct? Apparently, yes, I am. So the next boss, Mighty Chudan, is a big tortoise thing. He doesn't have too many terrible attacks. He's got a big heavy attack, he's got a headbutt, and he'll also spit on you. Tank, if you've got a deflect ability, like the sword and board ultimate or the defensive posture, you can actually deflect the spit on him. The main thing to watch out for, when he summons archers, Tank can chain them in. The main thing he does is he'll put a debuff on somebody, and that person he's going to charge at, there'll be a lady somewhere, an Argonian lady, with a dome of electricity over her. And whoever's got that AoE that means he's going to charge should go stand either in front of and behind it, so that when Chudan charges, they hit the electrical thing, and it stuns them and kills the electrical lady, because the electrical lady really hurts. So, you've just seen it done. Once he comes back up, finish him off. You don't really need to worry too much about the ads. If they get a bit too much, you can break off and finish them. Otherwise, just, go ahead and work on just Chudan. So with him dead, it looks like Catatonia is changing her monster set again. What is she equipping? Looks like she's putting Grothdar on. Probably because Grotdar's better in close fights. So with that done, sneak past the ads here. You don't really need to fight them. And make your way through the door, which will magically take you to the next boss. This is Xal-Nur the Slave Master. He's a great big gigantic fat Argonian who gets really angry. So he's got a few Wamasu chained up around the room, and they're going to be useful. To begin the fight, smack him a bunch, he'll scream, roar, get really angry. In fact, he's going to get so angry that he'll become completely impervious to damage for a moment and vomit in rage. And so when he does that, Tank, preferably, can just stand in it, get puked on, take this puke, and run to one of the geysers that he creates. He does this by stomping on the floor, which creates a fountain on one side of the room. You can see the tank's heading toward it. Take that debuff there, and it will cleanse it off of the tank, and the boss will be damageable once again. You can actually only have to do this 2 times if you line yourself up right. When he's invincible, by the way, there's a lot of ads. One of the DPS can go and release one of the Wamasu, and they'll help you to kill the ads by keeping them under control, keeping them distracted. So, second time he does his angry vomit spit, Tank goes and picks it up and takes it to the fountain. There's a little trick you can use. Don't cleanse right away. Get his attention, Mr. Tank, and don't step in it until he's right over there. All the DPS come over. Cleanse now. He becomes damageable. Everybody ulti-dump, blow your Warhorn Tank, and you can probably get him killed before he becomes indestructible again. Makes the boss fight much smoother. So loot whatever he has. I think he had some dinosaur toys in his pocket. Those are fun. Should totally take those home. I'm going to go through this door. No, we're not. We're going to go back. We're going to say goodbye to our Wamasu friends. They were very helpful. There, so that boss, not too bad. Just remember, when he's invincible, take the poo away. And we're moving on to the final boss already, because it's not that long. Let's do hard mode. Let's read this magazine here on the table, which apparently had really terrible pictures you can't believe you've seen. The only real difference between hard mode here is an extra ad, the Rock Shaper guys that channel stone. So, start damaging Na-Kesh the Tree Minder. She'll go invincible after a moment, and she'll summon a ghost of Mighty Chudan. She's also going to summon periodically these totems that drain your resources. There's one. That's a priority target. Take it out immediately. Use your ultimate if you have to. Then worry about the ghost of Chudan. It does the same attacks as the other Chudan fight, except for the whole charging electrical thing. You don't really have to worry about that, but it does the spitting and the heavy attack and so forth. Focus it down, get back on Na-Kesh. Na-Kesh picks a random target, hopefully one of the DPS, and makes it so that they can't use any attacks. All they have is an attack that damages a statue, but only one statue is damageable. So the others can use a reveal synergy, or just run up and show the person who's affected the statue that they have to damage. Here we can see that's the statue, and we're showing the DPS who's affected. There he goes, and he's going to destroy that statue. I don't know what happens if you don't destroy it, because I've never not destroyed it, but apparently it's bad, so you need to destroy the statue, then get back on the boss. The boss has gone invincible again, and this time she's summoned a ghost of Xal-Nur. He does all his same attacks. He'll enrage, pick a random target to charge at and headbutt, and all that stuff. He'll scream. The scream hurts, apparently. Stay out of his AoEs, focus him down, and then we'll get back on Na-Kesh once again. Another thing that happens, Na-Kesh will throw out a pool of amber plasm, which if an ad gets into it, it enrages them and makes them hit harder. So one of the DPS can actually run over and pick that up, and that will prevent ads from picking it up. It's quite useful. There you go, she just threw the vision thing at somebody. We're going to show him which one it is. It's this one over here, and it looks like it's the tank who got affected. That's bad. When the tank gets affected by the statue-destroying thing, he can't keep his taunt on the boss. The boss will go where it wants. If he taunted the boss before he got affected, then at least for the first 15 seconds the boss will be on him. And of course, this attack that you do to the statue scales off your damage. So tanks that do no damage at all, it takes forever to kill that statue. Ideally you don't want the tank to get it, but you can't always be in control of that. Focus down those totems because they drain your resources. Focus down the Stone Shaper guys, of course, as well. And then back on the boss and finish her off. So you're not going to have too difficult a time. Try, if you can, to avoid the AoEs with those root attacks that come out from her during this final phase, because they can be annoying. But she's dead. Apparently so is the other damage dealer, John. That was probably an accident. Nobody saw, but pretend we didn't see it. And that's really it. It's not the most difficult of the DLC dungeons. And, friendly teabag. Oh yes, and sometimes you're stuck in combat even after the fight ends, so you can't self-resurrect, so we're doing that, apparently. And so that's it for this dungeon. The hard mode isn't too much more difficult. Congratulations, you've now got a Mighty Chudan hat which you can wear. You know, the two-piece for that increases your resistances or something. Thank you for watching. Join us next time on Bosses Only, and don't forget to check out the stream at twitch.tv/𝕃𝕀𝕂𝔼.